At the end, I was actually done and I'm wrapping up. This young lady walks past and was basically like, I feel God in whatever it is you're doing. And I'm like, okay. The name of the game is consistency. All right, thanks guys. You have a good one. You too, happy holidays. It was many years ago. I want to say about 5 or 6 years ago. And I was entering this networking circle. A lot of entrepreneurship, startups, talking about ideas, a lot of creative stuff. And I was meeting people, you know, at this event center. I was meeting people, and there was one guy I did not meet. And I was really excited to meet him. Like, he had books and people were talking to him and all sorts of stuff. And I was going to meet him, and before I got to meet him, somebody told me, you don't want to get to know him. Like, you don't want to meet him. You don't want to talk to him. And I'm not going to tell you why while he's here, but I'll tell you why afterwards. So now at this point, I'm thinking to myself, like, wait a minute, why wouldn't I want to meet this guy who is at this networking event to network, to do these things? I'm like, why wouldn't I want to meet this guy? So now, to be honest, I'm a little bit more inquisitive on who this guy is and what's going on with him. So he begins to tell me all of this guy's business. This guy has done this, he's been there, this has happened in his life, you know, the other people have told me this, and I'm taken aback at this point. I'm like, for one, if he has done all of that, how is he here? How has he gone on to accomplish all of these things? Like, people are, it doesn't seem like he's this guy. Like, people like him, he's got his books, he's got his business. And I am at this point, I'm not able to put 2 and 2 together. I'm like, is he a good guy or a bad guy? Like, naturally, as a human, I'm like, now I want to know even more. Unfortunately, I bite. The person that I was talking to, like, I really respected him. I trusted him. I mean, he had the notoriety, he had all those things. And I'm like, if this guy is telling me not to trust him, if this guy is telling me not to network or engage with him or talk to him, I'm going to take this guy's word for it, because I know you, I trust you, and I don't want to be friends with this guy. I don't want to be connected with him. I'm not interested. I'm just about to go on about my business. That was it. The event was over. We left. I made my connections, talked to who I wanted to talk to, and honestly, I felt pretty good. I didn't think anything. Like, honestly, like, in the moment, it's kind of like just one of those conversations. It is what it is. It ain't what it ain't. And I left. That was it. And I felt good about the experience. I'm like, man, I met all the people I needed to meet, people I believe and hope that I could help, people I believe that could help me, you know, whether it was in my vision, my passion, where I wanted to take my ideas, my business, you know, all of those things. Like, I just felt really good. And that was it. The event was over, and that was the end of it. So, completely different day. I'm just going to get something to eat. And here's the thing. I know exactly where I was. I was going to Buffalo Wild Wings. And I was at work at the time. And I was just going there to get myself, you know, some wings, some fries, and I was just going to enjoy my lunch break. So I'm ordering my food. The waiter comes over, orders, you know, asks for my order and everything. I order, and I'm waiting on my food. And guess who walks in? The person that I chose not to talk to that day. The person I chose not to network with, the person I chose to intentionally avoid based on what it is somebody told me about this person. And he's like, hey man, I think I saw you at the networking event. I'm like, you do look familiar. And at that point it hit me. This was him. And he was like, well, I'm just here to grab something to eat. I'm just here to grab, some food. Would you mind if I join you? Now I'm in my head about what my friend has said about this person, what I believe in, how I perceive and view this person because of what another person has told me about their experience. But in this moment, I'm like, well, we're here now. Like, let's go ahead and talk. Let's go ahead and, whatever. And he joins me. Waiter comes back over, orders his food, orders his lunch. And we proceed to have the most enlightening, transparent, mentally freeing, open heart discussion. And I'm like, wait, this is not what somebody told me about you. And then there's the things that we know and believe because somebody else told us, because we experienced it. But here's one thing that will never, ever lie to you. That heart, that mind, that gut, it won't lie. And a lot of times we do not listen to that gut feeling, that intuition, that heart. We don't listen to it. We ignore it based on experiences, based on trauma, based on what somebody else has told us. And in that moment, I couldn't be more excited that I pushed all that to a side, because somebody else had an experience with this person didn't mean that I would have that same experience with that person. And sometimes we will discount relationships, miss out on opportunities, not turn stones over, not go and figure someone or something out for ourselves because of what somebody else said or what somebody else's experience was with this person or with this situation. And unfortunately, that is why our relationships and or lack thereof relationships with God do and don't exist. Because people have had their own experiences with Him, and they share Him, emotions, spiritual connections, church. They share their experiences with Him. And just because someone else had an experience with God, with believing in that higher power, with wanting to start that journey of faith with God the Creator, with Jesus, just because someone else had that experience doesn't mean that that's going to be our experience. And here's my connection. A lot of us have been introduced to people and or told about people, but never got to know for ourselves. And in that situation and in that networking event, I went off of someone else's relationship. I went off of someone else's experience and didn't get to know the individual for myself. Imagine if we went off of everyone else's experiences. A lot of us are madly in love and passionately in love and have been married for 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years to someone who's somebody else that they had a bad experience with. And a lot of us have been introduced to God. A lot of us have been introduced to Jesus. A lot of us have been introduced to this different way of living, or this necessary, this healthy way of living, but we never got to know God for ourselves. And I don't know where you are today. I don't know if you're at home with the family, driving on the road, or just watching me on YouTube or wherever you're catching this content at. But I encourage you, not with me, not because I'm pushing you to do something. I encourage you to go discover and have your own relationship with God for yourself. I hope that this message spoke to you. I hope that it met you. I hope that whatever it needed to be, it was, and who knows what this journey is the beginning of, or the refreshing or the restart of. But I wanted to give some biblical reference for what we just spoke about. And over in Psalms 34:8, this is the New International Version. It says in Psalms 34:8, it says, taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the one who takes refuge in him. And there are a lot of things that can provide and be so much for us, for our lives, mentally, emotionally, love life, relationships, if we would just go and see for ourselves, if we would taste and see. God is not scared of your questions, your fears, your doubts, what you want, we can't make him that small. Taste and see that he's good, just for yourself, and watch where you end up. How are you?
How's it going?
It's going well. We're enjoying this weather.
I know it's nice out.
You're from, wait, so you're from California?
I lived in California for about 7 years. I'm actually from Maryland.
You're from Maryland.
Yeah.
Okay, so from Maryland to California and now Claremont.
Yeah, I was up in Reading for about 5 years or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it. I like it. I want to throw you a curveball if that's okay.
Oh, I'm game.
Okay, so I am creating some faith-based content.
I was wondering. I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel the vibes of Jesus right now.
Oh man, okay. And what's your name?
I'm Kirsten.
Okay, Kirsa?
Yeah.
Kirsa Elijah, nice to meet you.
What's your name?
This is my wife. This is my wife Lika behind the camera doing making me look cool. Yeah,
Come on this side so I can
yeah.
see.
No.
Right
We
in the
can
face.
we can even have a seat. No. So just been working on some projects. And I definitely have a faith. Call it religion, call it whatever.
Yeah.
But my belief is that if we just get God in the picture, like if we just get Jesus in the picture, we don't need all the bells and whistles.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I get it, business, dare I say theatrics, politics, and how to do it the best, and to each his own in a way. But I think that God is enough.
Yeah.
And you said when you were walking past, you what did you say? What was your? I don't want to put words in your mouth. What did you? Actually, hold on. I'm gonna do this. You said that when you were walking past. What did you say?
Well, you were like, you were about to share about like your faith and that kind of thing, and I was like, oh yeah, I caught some Jesus vibes when I was walking by.
Oh man, that wasn't even it. So do you have a faith? What do how is God relevant in your life? How did you come to know him? Like what's that about?
Yeah, I mean, I'm one of those like go with the flow people, like,
Okay.
You're talking about like religion and that kind of thing.
Mhm.
Obviously Christianity is a religion, but
Yep.
I'm like, relationship with Jesus is what's the most important
Yeah.
to me. So I'm
Yeah.
like, whatever he wants to do, I'm gonna just roll with it, or like, yeah, I'm just really.
And that's the easiest part.
It's the best thing, because then
Yeah.
you're not, you don't get tied down by a formula. You don't get tied down by like semantics or,
Mhm.
or like traditional things. It's just like whatever he wants to do in the moment.
Yeah,
So.
I like that. Is there any Is there any way that he has shown up in your life, gotten you through some things, and is there anything that you're kind of like working on now with him, like expecting for some things, believing some things? What's that like?
Yeah, I would say a huge way the Lord has showed up in my life is through healing, health and healing. Right off the go, when I was born, I was actually born blind, and over the years, the Lord has gradually healed my vision. I'm at about 20/40 right now, 20/70. So.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You were born blind.
Yes, I was born blind.
And you're out here walking. Do you have on contacts?
No.
You were born blind. I was born with vision. You do not wear glasses. You don't have contacts. You don't have a walking stick or anything. And I have on. What?
Jesus. I just blame it on Jesus.
You know who we blame, and you know who we talking to. If you had 30 seconds to tell the world anything, the entire world is listening, the entire world speaks the same language, and you have the attention of the entire world, personally, mentally, emotionally, dreams, God, Jesus. If you had the attention of the entire world for 30 seconds, what would you tell them?
That is a good one. Well, first I would say to people who've either heard of Jesus or, have strayed away from that aspect of things is like, not don't worry about the church thing. Just first go with Jesus, and then because there's a lot of people that have had church hurt, and it's just like
It's real.
the most important thing is knowing that you're loved by Him, and knowing that you can love Him in return, and that's like the most important thing is just knowing Him and being known by Him. And I would just say to people in general, like a huge one for me is just like, there's no rush in anything. Like everything's gonna unfold in its perfect timing, and we're very much like go hustle kind of thing. And the Lord, if you do it in His perfect timing, there's just like an ease and comfort that comes with things, and even greater opportunities than we could ever think of. So it's just like, there's no pressure to make the right decision. Like, the beauty of learning is that there are mistakes. The beauty of learning is that there's growth. So
That's good.
something along those lines.
And I wouldn't add anything to that. Whatever God is doing here, we're so thankful that you walked past. It was definitely meant to be. And that's it. Like, cut. That's it.
So what just happened?
So we have this idea to come create this content, and like God has been just dealing with me on some stuff, and I have a community. I do a lot on social media with TikTok and Instagram, and I have this private community, personal growth and development, mental and emotional health, chasing after purpose and all that. And I made this announcement to my community last night, like, hey, I just felt God really tugging on my heart, and it's just like, there needs to be more of Him in what it is we're doing. And I'm like, there just needs to be more of God in what we're doing. And honestly, I've been holding back on some content, some visions that God has given me with, royal lamb, royal set apart, free. Every good thing comes from the kingdom of God, like purpose, colors, music, fashion, entrepreneur, like all that type of stuff. And I'm like, I need to get on my game. And I come out here and I record the content, and I'm recording the content. And in the middle, at the end, I was actually done.
Yeah, we're done.
And I'm wrapping up. And I'm gonna just like bring it all in for you. In the middle, this young lady walks past and was basically like, I feel God in whatever it is you're doing. And I'm like, okay, what's up? Like, hey, can we talk? But I'm also be honest. So my wife turns off the camera, and I'm like, hey, you don't want to be recording right now? Like, like this, something crazy about to happen. So he starts recording, and then we ask the lady, we're like, hey, is it okay if we record? And just start asking her some questions. Long story short, she was born blind. Now look out here. Show them where we are. Like, we're out here recording, and she's walking. No glasses, no contacts, no walking stick. And I just asked him, like, yo, how is God showing up in your life? What has God done for you? She was like, I was born blind. So what are you doing now? Out here in the open, where danger lies for things you cannot see. And she was like, I give it to God that my vision has been healed over the years. I said, I was born with vision and I'm wearing glasses today. You were born blind and you got. And that's what we mean. That's what we mean. And we sat down, we had a whole interview. Man, you got to go get to know God for yourself. He don't need your money. He don't need you to join nothing. He just wants you and your heart and your vision. Like, it's crazy. So that's what happened. And we just gonna see where this takes us. Shout out to Taylor Nardoni. Open to everything, attached to nothing. The name of the game is consistency.